Hey guys, the Chief Ash here again for another review in our horror movie review marathon for October. So here we go. We're going for classic series and one of the worst movies in the series. So there's that. But today I'm going to talk to you about Freddy's Dead: The Final Nightmare. I've put off reviewing any of these movies, any of them at all. The Nightmare on Elm Street series is, as you can tell by my banner, a big favorite of mine. So this is the worst in the series. The remake makes this look like a fucking masterpiece, but this is the worst in the Nightmare on Elm Street series. So the remake doesn't count. The remake just happens to have the franchise title, so there's that. But this movie. So, in all accounts and everything, this movie is terrible, and it's only a redeeming quality and totally worth the watch still is because of Freddy Krueger. There's one really, really cool line from the movie, but beyond that, the acting is hammy, the setup is hammy, the cameos are shameless. There's a Roseanne Barr cameo, which is pretty. It's cool. It's entertaining to see her. This is one of those movies that's so bad it's funny as shit. It's a hilarious movie. It's not really scary anymore. People die and there's blood and guts and stuff like that. But it's like horror. It's like essentially like the beginning of horror comedy. Like it's so hammy. It's on purpose and. It's after MTV got their grip on the series and slowly made it worse and worse and worse until Wes Craven came back and saved it with A New Nightmare. So, because this is the one before A New Nightmare anyway. This is where it died, essentially. And then Wes Craven was like, no, I don't want it dead yet. And he fucking, that man, may he rest in peace. Anyway, this movie is about all of the kids in Elm Street have died, have committed suicide or whatever, and the people of Springwood are effectively trying not to speak of Freddy as much, but most of them, I'm going to go ahead and say all of them, have went into this delirium where they still see kids and things like that, and they want to protect them from Freddy, but without actually talking about him. And the movie starts off centralized around this main character who is the last kid in Springwood, and she's trying to leave, and he ends up leaving, but he gets amnesia. And the idea is that Freddy wants him to leave so he can come back and bring more kids for him to kill, because his influence hasn't spread past Springwood because they don't know who he is. So, the kid, if leaving Springwood, effectively makes it to where, Freddy can spread his shit around and, torment everyone everywhere. So dude leaves, forgets who he is, whatever, and they try to figure out where he's from. The only thing he has on him is a clip of a newspaper from Springwood, so obviously that's where they go. And they take kids there, and the kids die because they went to Springwood. And ultimately, by some crazy happenstance, and Freddy apparently knew about it, the not loony bin, that's a terrible way to say that. It's just, that's kind of where this movie lies with me. It's like everyone in this movie is crazy, even the people that aren't supposed to be. They're just nuts. Everybody. There's a place where, orphaned children or troubled children go, and that's where he ends up. He's with amnesia, and they take him there. They're not a loony bin. That's where everyone in Springwood and everybody else needs to be. Not a loony bin, whatever. They take him to that, and just so happens to be the person that's in charge of the kids there is, and spoiler alert here, but it's this movie is only worth watching for the laughs. So the plot's really, if you know it, you know it's whatever. It's another Nightmare on Elm Street movie. After they did it to death and just stopped trying to be original. After the third movie, it's just whoosh. But anyway, yeah. So it's that's how it is. The plot. Boom. Spoilers are here. They are. So he it's his daughter. The person that's in charge of the children is Freddy's daughter. And I guess Freddy knew she was there and knew somehow or another that the main dude guy at the beginning would go there. And so he goes there and gets... they go back to Springwood and boom, some other kids stowed away and they were just cannon fodder for Freddy essentially. And they go and there's a delirium of blah 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 blah. And there's another shameless cameo. It's actually kind of funny. One of the kids is a stoner dude that like plays video games a lot, and he falls asleep while watching or in front of a broken TV, and so he starts dreaming the TV's doing stuff. And it's a Johnny Depp cameo, which is like it's Johnny Depp, so that's just kind of cool. But that this is after his career started rising. But if we recall, in the first Nightmare on Elm Street movie, Johnny Depp played Glenn. So it's funny to see him back, and he does like this little commercial, and then Freddy hits him in the head with a frying pan, and that's where this movie's at. But there's a joke about the Power Glove from the NES and stuff like that in this, which a lot of people know about that. So it's hammy as balls. It's funny. It's funny because of it, and you gotta watch it and not take it too seriously, but. It has neat little things. Freddy was brought because in every movie Freddy has a different reason why he came back, and he got brought back by this because he signed like this contract essentially with these dream worms. They're like the masters of the dream realm, and they need somebody like a fucking medium kind of thing, and to be able to mess with people's dreams, and they give him the power to control dreams, and that's how he comes back. My least favorite of the reasons why he comes back to life. Usually I find it's kind of, a lot of the movies are kind of clever how they bring him back, or like how he tortures people in it, but even 4 and 5, like the movies, they're not good movies, but some of the concepts behind them are really interesting and really like they're worth the watch because of the idea behind it. And in 6, this is the only one of the series, in my opinion, that does not even have that. It's just like, oh, what the fuck, dream worms? Like, come on. Everything else was actually had like some scientific basis. Not that it could bring somebody back to life in dreams, but like how dreams work. And because of this is how dreams work, or this is how we perceive dreams work in the 80s and 90s, this is how he's going to come back. It's that all of those are clever and original ways to bring Freddy back because he is established in this dream situation. In number 6 with these dream worms, they fucking gave up. Somebody gave up. Somewhere along the line. Fucking just dropped the ball there. But it's worth the watch because it's funny. I'm proud to say that it is still on certain critic websites. It's actually rated higher than the remake of Nightmare on Elm Street. So the worst in the series, the lowest rated in the series on various critic websites, is still, I think it's just barely higher than the remake, but it's higher, and it has watch value because it is entertaining. And that's what it is. It's entertaining because it's funny. And it's it's the same, trap people in a dream and kill them routine. They don't get super intricate or original with it, but it's definitely worth the time. But there's not really anything scary or horrific about it. Really cool line where Freddy's talking to his daughter, and he's talking about how he wants to spread his influence, and he's like, every town has an Elm Street. Like, that's cool. Like, that's the only cool line in the whole movie. It really is, and the only part where I'm like, yeah, that's neat. It also gives a little bit of another cameo. Gives a little backstory as to who Freddy is, which hasn't been done up till now. Like, there's been little bits, but there's some missing pieces, like him as a kid in this one, and it's kind of neat. And it actually shows his father like beating him, or his stepfather. It's his stepfather. It's definitely stepfather because he's the son of 100 maniacs. But his stepfather's like beating him because that's how Freddy Krueger grew up. It's pretty easy to believe. And his stepfather, like, I didn't know it until I was watching a documentary about it, but his stepfather is Alice Cooper. Like, it's cool. It's neat. It's funny. But yeah, little backstory into Freddy. That also gives it a little bit watchability if you like the other ones, if you like the story of Freddy Krueger in general. I'll be doing pretty much all of these movies this month, so sorry about it. They're entertaining. I like to freak out about them, geek out about them. I got various things around here about Nightmare on Elm Street. It's a guilty pleasure of mine. Some of them are guilty. Some are like, yeah, it's a good movie. Fuck off. So, if you like it, if you don't, let me know. Comment down below. Whatever. Just stole that. That's great. Anyway, yeah. So, Freddy's Dead: The Final Nightmare, the 6th movie in the Nightmare on Elm Street series. So, there is that. Keep watching for the rest of the month. Check out some of the stuff we got. We've got a couple special movies, reviews set up between the 3 of us at the punch button at the moment. The ones that are active, and we will shoot that at you as they come, and you will probably like them. So, anyway, this has been the Chief Ash. Keep watching.